Hello everyone. After long wait, we have got the AP budget 2024. So first you should understand this is November and the budget which we have presented could be for next few months only before they go for the full term budget. Next important, the allocations made in this budget basically with respect to the time period. The location which are made with respect to the time period that is for 4 to 5 months. Okay, till the full and budget is being announced from the next time. And remember, for this 4 to 5 months also, the Andhra Pradesh government has not compromised as we go through the budget in across all the sectors with respect to programs, schemes, etc. Let us take them one by one. And prior going into that, just first read and understand what are the challenges, what are the issues which the Andhra Pradesh government are presently facing post their return after the period of 5 years. So if you could look at the government complains about the mismanagement of the state financements. So the state finances were completely mismanaged. Okay, because the budget repeatedly talks about the diversions which were made in the budget in the past 5 years. Second one, as I told you, diversions of the state resources, state revenues. That means non-effective utilization of non-effective utilization of the state resources. Okay, especially the budget targets about the natural resources and budget talks about the excise duties which were flawed and also the sand mining which was quite dominating in the state. Next, state also talks about the present budget also highlights the problem faced by the state with respect to the debt levels. Debt levels of the state of Andhra Pradesh is quite very high. The state also complains about the diversions of the funds were not utilized for the proper agenda, and also the debts which you have borrowed from external agencies, those debts were not with the did not uh, went as per the compliances of the government of India's principles. That means what the borrowings they have made, they have violated the guidelines of the central government in simple. Next, the interest rates were quite high and holding of the payments for most of the social sector schemes which were not delivered on time. Next, diversions of the local body funds. This we will talk clearly with respect to the 15th Finance Commission and piling of the overdues of the government employees with respect to their benefits, with respect to the kind of allowances they have to get it. Next, unpaid work liabilities were also quite high. Irrigation sector, okay, energy sector, and the contribution made by the irrigation sector and energy sectors were quite lower. So even these allocations which they made and what are the promises the present government make with respect to irrigation and with respect to irrigation like energy sector. And new NBFCs, non-banking financial corporations or companies were established for what purpose? See, first, let us go into the budget estimates of 2024-25. I have clearly highlighted here what you have to read. You need not go through the entire document. Read what is just highlighted. So what is the total expenditures which have been mentioned here? The total expenditures which are mentioned is 2,94,427.25 crores. So this is the total expenditures which includes your revenue expenditures as well as your capital expenditures. Okay, that means I could say the complete budget with respect to how much I am going to spend is 2,94,000. And here with the revenue expenditures estimated at 2,35,916, capital is 32,712. So you have to mug up by heart all the group students who are preparing for this next coming group 2 or group 1 examination. And very importantly, what is the deficit? So the deficit is as recommendations made in the FRBM Act only. Okay, encasing committee's guidelines they have followed with respect to the revenue deficit and with respect to the finance, like fiscal deficit. So look at the fiscal deficit in and around of 4.19 percentage. But how much you have to maintain? You have to maintain somewhere around 3 to 3.5 percentage. But the expenditures are quite high. The returns could be low. That is the reason the fiscal deficit is very high. Revenue deficit is around 2.12 percentage. So these two things which you have to remember, the fiscal deficit will be around, will be means for this budget, and the revenue deficit is 2.12. Now, how much they adjusted for the previous years? The fiscal deficit for the same for the previous years, that's somewhere around the first, that is the revenue deficit, which is at 2.65, and fiscal deficit, which is 4.3. So last year it was 4.3. Now it is 4.19. That is what you have to remember here. Next, very important sector is agriculture sector, as the allocation main to the sector is one of the highest. So here the government says, along with the six promises what the government has made, the government has announced for all the eligible farmers Annadata Sukhi Bhava PM Kisan scheme. That means here it is a central sponsor scheme where the central government and also the state government will come forward and make collaboration so that they can promote the welfareness of the farmers. Next important, పొలం పిలుస్తుంది, వడ్డీ లేని రుణాలు, soil health cards, soil testing labs. These are quite genuine. I mean, like these are quite general, related to the, okay, related to the farmers' welfare benefits, etc. Now the crop insurance schemes, the crop insurance schemes, like the benefit the crops the farmers are going to get, that has been modified from the Rabi season. That is Rabi. This is very important point. 2024-25, as the voluntary enrollment, which is making the farmer as very flexible to go for the particular crops, whichever the crops he's going for. Next, livestock sector plays a crucial role. That is the reason you can say Andhra Pradesh is the second largest, okay, second highest in livestock and poultry, okay, first in egg production. Budget says the first in egg production, and fourth in the meat production, and fifth in the milk production in the country. So these are the ranking which are very, very important for your exam. Next, if you look at the to consider the livestock as well as the fisheries related, the government has to provide the diesel for catching of these fishes. That is the diesels which are used in the boats, mechanized boats, that the government is trying to cover in the subsidy rates. Next, very important with respect to PACS, for all of them I have taught in the class, primary agriculture credit societies. These will be strengthened and this will be computerized. This is what the budget says. And this is also includes the financial inclusion, that also includes the financial inclusion of the farmers, and the government is allocating 11,855 crores for the agriculture and allied for this particular, for short term, but the budget is very, very high. So promote PACS via PACS, that is the rural economy with respect to the agriculture and with respect to the farmers' income can be strengthened. So primary agriculture cooperative societies, these are registered on Societies Act, plays a very important role in promoting two types of loans, everyone loans, that crop loans and as well as the term loans. Considering both the loans, crop loans will be the seasonal loans which will be given for the large scale farmers, especially the marginal and the small. Next, with respect to HRD, so government want to set up a design program, state to design programs for providing the skills so that the employment scalability, employment skill related can be matched. So 20 lakhs number is very important. Budget says 20 lakh employment opportunities will be provided. Next, skill infrastructure will be there. 192 skill hubs are going to come up. Skill colleges and skill universities will be established. Along with that, government says that 1,215 crores will be allotted for this department. Most important, advancement of the youth. Government says we are providing 3%. Most of the state governments and central government provides 1% reservation or 2%, 1 to 2 or maximum 1% for the youth with respect to sports. But the government says we are providing 3% reservation for the sports person, the government employee, which is the highest in the country. That is the fact. Next, financial institutions which we can look at, government has come up with the new sports policy. New sports policy. So if you come at new sports policy, this is for the period of 5 years, starting from 2024 to 29. With these four strategic pillars, he says, first one is nurture the talent, second one is sports ecosystem, third one is global visibility, and third one is strengthening the sports nurture and ecosystem from the grassroots level. So here government is saying that I am going to target with respect to sports for all, nurture talent, sports ecosystem, and global visibility. This is the four important themes with respect to the sports policy. Next, if you take at the tourism sector also, spiritual tourism is very high, ecotourism, okay, spiritual or religious tourisms like Buddhist centers, Jain centers, okay, so temple, unique architectures, all very, very quite significance is there in the state of Andhra Pradesh. And to enhance this, government also has very ways like wellness centers, health centers, ecotourism. 322 crores has been allotted. Next, if you could look at with respect to the energy sector and irrigation sector, one by one we will take it. 24 costs on power supply to be provided to the consumers. So this is what the government is saying under the policy of AP integrated clean energy policy 2024. What is that integrated? Integrated means coming up with the clean technologies, green technologies, so that we can actually meet the targets of reducing the global temperatures, emissions, etc. So here the new policy paves the way to promote renewable energy, pumped storage power, green hydrogen. Okay, what the central government has come up with the norms of trying to be net zero by 2070. In the same lines, they have also been adopted. Low cost power supply to the aqua farmers, free power of 200 units. This is very important. Free power of 200 units per month to every household in SC/ST colonies. This is very, very important. They are trying to provide the free electricity supply. Next, there is a limit for that. So dhobi guards, laundries, which are basically the BPL families, to the hair salons, Nai Brahmins. Okay, so all this will be getting some sort of benefits, will be provided free and concessional power. Okay, so government is allotted 8,207 to the energy department. Next, industries and commerce. Government is talking about the very important AP Industrial Policy 4.0. So this is AP Industrial Policy 4.0, AP MSME Development Policies 4.0 again. This is as per the Industrial Revolution 4.0, and AP policy for the estimations of private industrial parks, okay, with plug and play, which are very much ready to use. And food policy, food processing, etc. Andhra Pradesh government is very good in processing of this food, because the raw materials like fish, raw materials like livestock, which are very much in abundant. Okay, and what are the resources that the Andhra Pradesh government has allotted for their promotion? Next, with respect to housing for all, and the target for housing for all is 2029. So government has initiated the housing for all by 2029, and this is very important. 25 lakhs pattas they are going to issue for the weaker people, economically weaker people, under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana and NTR Nagars. This is what how they have co-related. Next, house side pattas will also be issued for those people who do not have the houses. And next, it proposed to complete 6.9 lakhs. So this our next coming target for before the next budget is 6.9 lakh. And we will start with this until we reach 2029. So we have 5 more years from here on to reach this target. This is for PMAY urban, 1.79 in the rural areas, that is for Grameen. So 15,000 homes for a vulnerable tribal, that is among the Janman, PM Janman. This is for promoting the STs, PVTGs who are very remote areas not connected with the mainstreams. So for those 4,102 crores are being provided for this housing developments. Next, if we take urban development, GIA based master plans for class 2. That means come up with the technology, interlink with the technology, space technologies, so that the gridding, mapping, okay, all this can be promoted. So here for the population of 50,000 to almost 1 lakh has been initiated. And again, Amrut 2.0, universal coverage of safe drinking water, regeneration of water, treatment of water, wastewater treatment, harvesting, rainwater harvesting, all these have been together in the urban promotion. And 15,000 crore from the multilateral funding agencies for development of the truck infrastructure in the capital. So I expect this kind of questions can be asked in your exam. This could be direct questions can be picked. And Anna canteens for those people who can actually have their food for the affordable prices that are being in the urban as well as in the rural areas. So 204 in the 123 urban local bodies and 158 in the rural areas as well. For this, government has allotted 11,490 crores. Next, Panchayat Raj, where the Deputy CM, okay, is in charge of this, has a special focus now that will talk about how are the panchayats are being promoted with respect to their expenditures, which are increased during the Independence Day and Republic Day. Panchayat and local bodies have been promoted with extra funds as per the norms of the 15th Finance Commission. That also we'll read now. The government has adopted vision plan for the development of panchayats under Swarna Panchayat program, and 998 crores for the 15th Finance Commission. Okay, for what purpose? 15 Finance Commission will deliver the local body grants. In that local body grants, directly they can use. State governments also has a provision which are untied. Tied, what 15 Finance Commission has said, central government has said, we have to do. Untied means it is the provision of the state governments. Now, every poor, here it is very clear, every poor family in the rural areas to come out of the poverty and stay out of poverty, government is supporting the SHGs. So come up with the SHGs and try to promote the employment opportunities. That is Pradhana Mantri Employment Generation Program, Pradhana Mantri formalization of micro food enterprises, which can actually create large scale employment. PM Swanidhi for the urban street vendors. Okay, and PM Vishwakarma, that is for artisans, okay, traders, etc. Government will give loans at 5% rate of interest, and Svinidhi at 7% rate of interest, or 9%, where the 2% will be the subsidy given by the government. Next, Andhra Pradesh Rural Road Connectivity Project has completed connectivity, because a few of the areas lack connectivity, that has to be promoted. Now, if we take the concept of health for all, this is the intention of the government. Government is trying to promote under the school health program, Angarwadis children, school students up to 18 years will be screened for 4Ds. Very important. What are these 4Ds? Defects at birth, deficiency diseases, development delays, and disability. So this will be targeted. Okay, medical facilities will be promoted. Primary health centers will be improved, so that they can actually have the testing labs, they can actually have some level of diagnosis. Next, very important, this flagship programs like Dr. NTR Vaidya Seva Trust, so where it will revive the 108 and 104 services, so that the family welfare programs under the National Health Mission will be implemented comprehensively. How much they are allocating? 18,000 plus crores for this. Next, higher education. Apart from Swarna Andhra at 2047, government has promoted three knowledge centers. This is very, very important at Amravati, at Tirupati, and Vishakhapatnam. So three important: Amravati, Tirupati, and Vishakhapatnam. So 18,000 faculties will be promoted with their skills, and government has come up with understanding of MOU for higher education. For NASCOM, EduSkill, Salesforce, Microsoft, these MNCs will be promoting the skill development programs of 2.5 lakh students from 2024. This is very, very important. And how much they have provided are also highlighted. Next, with respect to schools programs, six, along with the six promises, the government is promising in that Tallike Vandanam. That means what? To mothers for the students for selling. That means no student should be drop out from the school because of the poverty. So government has also reamed schemes like Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan social activities, Dokasitamma, so that the promotions of these important schemes, promotion, so that the people can get benefit out of it. Next, if you look at Swarna Andhra 2047 with respect to the other benefits given to the social sector, NTR Bharosa pension scheme is been benefiting 64.38 lakhs pensioners, with pensioning ranging from 4,000 to 15,000 per month. So what you can conclude here, none of them are given very uniform. As per the requirement, government has given more benefits. Very first month of our government, 4,400 crores was released toward NTR Bharosa, and total of 15,200 crores has been released since June 2024. It's in span of 4 months, we can say. Next, the schemes of the government will benefit Mala Dasari, Mediga, and Relly. All these other SC communities are being directly targeted with certain benefits. Next, if you look at for SC component, how much it has been given, BC component, how much are given. Just if you can actually look at SC, ST, BCs, they may be a question like arrange them in order, etc. Next, highest priority is been given to, I told you, irrigation sector and energy sector has been given. So new water policy has come up. Okay, aim of taking water to every possible field. So we have to connect water to every field, and action plans are being prepared to make state drought proof and ensure water security for drinking, irrigation, and industrial needs. Okay. Next, very important, National Polavaram Irrigation Project is a priority of this government to finish it, to ensure that maximum benefits can be attained from it. So how much they are allocating? 16,705. This is one of the major agenda. And government has not compromised with respect to the environment and the state policy. Government has come up with Vanam Manam Prakruti Pilustundi and mangrove initiatives for the shoreline. This is already there. Okay, this is already been there earlier, so that these schemes which have been provided, these schemes which have been benefited. So Misty scheme on that lines, they have been targeted to promote the sectors. Next, Nagarvanam scheme, so that the climate resilient cities, they can expect the smart, clean, healthy city. They can make up smart city, healthy schemes. Okay, so promoting the greenery. All right, so these are the very important points with respect to the budget. Okay, so budget has a lot of allocations. Okay, in the next few months, how the government is going to take all these schemes is also important, because the next budget is also very near. It is not very far, and it should inline meet the targets which of the next coming budget of the central government and also the respect to Andhra Pradesh government. So I have covered almost all the schemes policies. Okay, if anything is there, I'll make a separate video with respect to schemes and policies in the next, if at all the survey is going to come out. All right, thank you so much.